pray for our tech people. We're going to ground ourselves for worship this morning with these words by Dana Warsnop. Often people say that they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. And I know just what they are getting at. And I know that they aren't getting it quite right. I don't want to be with a bunch of people who think just like me. I want to be in a community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation. I want to be with people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, though they have different opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be with people of good heart, people who have many names and no names at all for God, who see in me goodness and dignity, who also see my failings and foibles and still love me. I want to be with people who feel their interconnection with all existence and let it guide their footfalls upon the earth. People who see life as a paradox and don't rush to resolve it, who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life, who will help steady me when I wobble, who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts. I want to be with people who let church call them in to a different way of being in the world. People who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to more ethical living, who are willing to be uncomfortable trying to get there, who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit, who covenant to be honest and engaged and kind, who strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises I make. I want to be with people who know that human community is usually warm and generous, often challenging, and almost always a grand adventure. In short, I want to be with people like you.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. My name is Gaia Brown, and I'm honored to be your worship associate this morning. My pronouns are she, her. Newcomers, longtime members, everybody in between, folks on Zoom there, welcome. Welcome to this house and this covenantal faith, where we accept one another and encourage each other to grow spiritually. If you are new to us, please make sure you filled out a form out at the greeters table, and if you didn't, there's a form in the pocket in the seat in front of you. Tell us who you are, fill it out, and we will put you on our list to send you our weekly e-blast. Also on the chair in front of you are forms to fill out. If you have a joy or a concern that you would like shared with the congregation this morning, please fill that out. And in our time of greeting, you can give that to Reverend Kristen or to me. We acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional homelands of the Washoe, Northern Paiute, Western Shoshone, and Southern Paiute peoples of the Great Basin. This includes 28 tribal nations that exist as sovereign nations and continue as stewards of this land. We are grateful for the opportunity to live and worship on these indigenous homelands. And now, it's time to greet your neighbors. When I ring the bell, please come back. Our opening song this morning is number 1 in the gray hymnal. It says, "May nothing evil cross this door," which is the first line of the poem written by Louis Untermeyer. And the poem, and something to keep in mind as you sing the song, the poem is entitled Prayer for This House. So if you'd stand as you are able or willing and sing hymn number 1, Prayer for This House.
At its essence, Unitarian Universalism is a religion based on promises that we make to one another. And those promises are built around a core of love. Promises to one another, love, that's who we are. My colleague, Reverend Dr. Molly Hausch Gordon, describes it like this. She says, there is no creed at the center of Unitarian Universalism. There is no pope, no bishop, no king. There is no single text at our core. The heart of our tradition beats instead with a promise, a commitment to all we love, a commitment to our tangled up connections with each other and with each living thing, a commitment to what is most ultimate in each of our lives. Rather than a commitment to a belief, we commit in the ways we will be with one another as we work towards a world that is ever and ever more loving. In 2022, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada adapted our covenant. We adapted it because our promises naturally evolve and transform over time. And we recommitted to specific intentions that you have made to one another. We made 10 promises to one another. And these are not promises that we will get it right every time, but promises for which we will consciously and intentionally aim. And we're going to say that covenant together later as we expand our circle to invite others to share in that covenant with us. I've been thinking a lot about covenant, and I've been thinking about covenant like a new puppy. You decide that you want a puppy. You go pick out the one that feels like the best fit for your family and your home. You get the stuff that you need, food and water, dishes, a leash and a collar. And you are already in love with that puppy when you bring it home. And then it poops on the living room floor. and it eats your favorite pair of shoes, and it barks at falling leaves outside, and you're like, oh crap, what have I done? I thought that this puppy was just going to bring me so much joy, and now I'm losing sleep like I have a newborn at home. It's so much work. You find Unitarian Universalism, and you're excited. You love the values, you love the justice, and you went to the church barbecue, and it was so fun. But then you immediately get asked to serve on a committee, and someone disagrees with you about a direction, and another person says something inappropriate that hurts, and the minister doesn't return an email, and you're like, oh crap, what have I done? I thought that this religion was made up of people who were all living their values, and that was going to bring me so much joy. And now they're being all human, just like everyone else in the world. And it's so much work. And you can leave, just as you could choose to give your puppy up for adoption. You opt in and you can opt out. But when we covenant, we make promises not of perfection, but a promise of intention. And that means that we have to live with the reality that with the joy of community comes the work of being with other humans and being vulnerable and holding one another in loving accountability and truthfulness. And just like with the puppy, hopefully the effort you give brings a joy and deeper courage and meaning making and depth to your life. I serve on a team of coaches through the Unitarian Universalist Association's program called Hope for Us. It's a national program which sends support to congregations when they are in conflict. And you might ask, isn't that every single congregation in the country? And yes, covenantal relationships inherently involve conflict. Humans are inherently messy. A colleague at Hope for Us, Jess Martinez Hunter, describes covenant as alive, fragile, and chosen. A couple weeks ago, I shared with many of you some of my learnings from journeying to Minneapolis to be with other clergy as we witnessed the organizing happening in the city that is occupied by ICE agents. One of the lessons that they shared has stuck with me, and it was this. They said that in a time of authoritarianism, we need to be infinitely more joinable. We need to be infinitely more joinable. We need to make it possible for more and more people to say yes to this loving resilience. And our practice of covenant primes us to do just that if we let it. Here's what I know. I want to be with people who know that the way through the collapses that we are experiencing is relationships, is the promises that we make to each other. I want to be with people who believe in being honest and vulnerable and trusting and loving and are willing to practice those values. I want to be with people who know that love is possible and that we will continue to believe in it even when it's hard. I want to be with people who know that being human with each other is messy and want to do it anyway. In short, I want to be with people like you. I invite you to just breathe with me. Take this opportunity to be in this community together. A little reprieve from the world out there, even in all the messiness. As part of this community, we celebrate together, we grieve together, we love together. And we are so sad to let you know that our beloved member, Ginny Kersey, died this week. Ginny joined this congregation in 1985. And over those 40
Well, good morning. I'm Jackie Riley, pronouns she and her. Kristen asked me to share something with you today about my membership here at UUFNN. I first came to UUFNN about 35 years ago. I'd read a quote, some of you have already heard this story. I'd read a quote in a newsletter from the Nevada Women's Political Caucus. It was an old UU joke that some of you have most likely heard. Whenever you have 6 UUs in a group, there are at least 7 opinions on the matter. True enough. I thought the UUs sounded like an interesting group of people. I was looking for community. I was working as the development director for the Committee to Aid Abused Women at the time. And I just lost my place. Oh, there it is. When I came to a service, I found that I already knew half of the people here. Mo's laughing because she knows. Because they were donors. And I'd already been writing letters, either asking for money or thanking them for money. I knew they were good people, and I knew immediately that I'd found my community. That's how I got here. After working at CAW, Committee to Aid Abused Women, I taught parenting and trained childcare providers and after-school program staff for the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension. One of the things I used to teach, especially in parenting classes, was related to covenanting. I didn't think of it as such at the time, but as I wrote this, I was like, oh, that's exactly what it was. Covenanting is working together, agreeing to work and be together. Probably part of the reason my husband and I will be celebrating our 49th wedding anniversary this year. How did I get so old? So in my classes, I would ask parents if they agreed about everything regarding how to parent with their partner. Do you or have you always agreed with your partner about parenting? The obvious answer is no. We don't always agree with our partners or our work colleagues or everyone here at Fellowship. But we do hopefully agree to talk, share ideas, and work together. We won't always agree. In fact, we know we will disagree and have different opinions and views about various issues. Another thing my husband and I did as we were parents to young children, we're still parenting, of course, because even though they're 30 and up, we had an agreement about our parenting. Just in case you didn't know, those of you little ones, it doesn't stop. So we had a covenant, again, if you will. When one of our children asked to do something that we weren't quite sure about or hadn't yet talked about, rather than say yes or no right away, we'd say, I'll have to talk to your mom or dad about that. That prevented issues for my husband and I if we disagreed about our child's request. That way we made our decisions together. I'm sure it frustrated the kids at times, but they understood that we talked and that they couldn't always get a quick answer. It prevented our kids from saying, but mom said I could, or but dad said I could. It prevented potential arguments with my husband and me. It also modeled teamwork for them. It's similar in some ways to how we operate here at Fellowship. We have conversations and discussions. We share ideas before making big or sometimes small decisions. We covenant to explore ideas, share thoughts, and listen to each other. We consider other viewpoints. Even though we won't always agree, we agree to work together as we move forward. That's our covenant with each other. We all work to grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. I'm thankful I found my community and look forward to our discussions and continued covenanting with each other.
Yes, I'm the short one. My name is Michelle Hamilton, pronouns she, her, hers, and I'm at UUFNN because here we covenant to honor the interdependent web of all existence. So I'm here to talk about resilience in the face of environmental collapse. Consider this. Children born today will outlive nearly all coral reefs because of climate change. Now I'm going to repeat that because it's a little hard to take in. Children born today will outlive nearly all coral reefs. So the good news is that we understand the causes of the climate change. We know how to fix it, and we already have most of the solutions. The bad news is we're moving too slowly. Every year, we make the problem worse. Because climate systems change slowly, the damage we've already set in motion will continue even if we stop polluting right now. So we need to do two things. Stop polluting now. To keep phones charged on the road. Emotional resilience also matters. Extreme weather triggers many emotions: fear, anxiety, anger, or protectiveness. Strong social connections help us stay grounded. My spouse and I have close friends across town, and years ago, we agreed that if one household was threatened by wildfire, the other household could immediately evacuate to the other household. We exchanged keys. We made
member and friend, shifts the waters in important ways, helping us live into our mission in new ways we could never even predict. So let us take a moment and define this symbol of our covenantal community, this flowing river, this truckee of fabric we've created in the room today, with the words of our covenant, the promises that we wrote together and have revised as this document transformed and that has transformed and grown to meet each new iteration of this community. So up on the screen, you will see the promises, the covenant of our congregation. And I'm going to invite you to recite each line after me. And after our collective reciting of each line, we're going to pause and I invite you to just soak in what it means for you to live into this promise, into each intention. We aspire to build a democratic community that is based on trust, transparency, and open communication. Revolutionary from intention one. Be present in the moment and listen to each other with honesty and compassion. To be good examples for our children in their lifelong journey of discovery and meaning. To respect individual lifestyles in an accepting atmosphere of love. To stand against racism and nurture a culture within UUFNN that is welcoming and safe for everyone. To be mindful of our own biases and show consideration for others in our words and actions. To affirm and practice the UU principles in our daily lives. To stay informed about our fellowship and be reliable stewards to ensure that we continue to grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. To honor all expressions of spirituality. To create and nourish a balance between spirituality and social justice. Those are the intentions that flow through the river of this community. And I'm going to invite Jackie up to help me as we welcome new members to join us in this river of love, faith, justice, and joy. Oh, wait, I start this part. It is a joy to be welcoming 6 new members into our covenantal community today. I invite the 5 who are able to be with us this morning to come forward. So if you are here, Being honored in joining UUFNN, I invite you to please come forward if you feel comfortable. Each time a new member says yes to this community, we shift and transform in small, sometimes imperceptible ways, and for that we are grateful. The presence of each new person helps us deepen our own commitment personally and collectively to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. So as we welcome these new members today, we also recommit ourselves to the covenant and values we share, to the potential for this community to transform each of us individually and as a congregation, and to grow a world based on what we know to be possible. Do you want me to pass out the bags?
Sure. To our new members, thank you. We're so glad that you've committed your time, talent, treasure, voice, and commitment to our shared values. As we welcome each new member and give them a gift, we also invite them to add a stone to the river, symbolizing the sacred role that their presence plays in the long arc of this community. Melinda Lyons. I'm happy to introduce Melinda Lyons to you. Melinda has lived in our community for almost 25 years and has been attending UU for about 1 year. She enjoys golf, pickleball, yoga, and reading. She joined our community hoping to find an outlet for her need for action. Other qualities that she is seeking are friendships, a safe place, and like-minded people. She is already a member of the UU Finance Committee. Wow! Woohoo! And planning to participate in the Election Integrity Project. Yeah, that's a big one. Although retired, Melinda is also a volunteer at the Northern Nevada Literacy Council. We are fortunate to welcome Melinda. Celia McGinty. We're happy to introduce Celia McGinty as a new member. Celia has been coming to UUFNN for about 2 years now and was a previous member of UU in Port Orchard, Washington. She states that she is here looking for a community of like-minded people. She is a retired elementary school teacher who has volunteered with refugee resettlement in Reno and likes to spend her spare time walking her dog and reading. Welcome, Celia. Robert McGinty. We're very happy to welcome Robert McGinty as a new member. Robert reports that he's been attending UUFNN for 2 years and was a prior UU member in Washington. Robert is looking for community and hope within UUFNN. Robert is a retired teacher and devotes much of his time to writing, reading, and riding his horse. He's particularly interested in protecting Nevada's public lands. A native Nevadan, he has lived here most of his life. He looks forward to being involved at UUFNN as he discerns where his talents will be beneficial. Thank you and welcome, Robert. Amber Childs. We're happy to welcome Amber Childs as a new member. Amber and her 2 daughters have been attending for about 1 year. Amber has already enjoyed the hospitality of our CUPS group and looks to volunteering more in the work of UUFNN. Amber has lived her whole life in Reno and is grateful to find a community of such kind, welcoming people, and looks forward to working towards community and social justice with you all. Welcome, Amber. And Mo Sheeran. We're pleased to introduce Mo Sheeran. Mo has lived in our community for 38 years, coming to us from Texas. Mo said she was attracted to UUFNN because of our justice work and was introduced by her friend Billy Lee Dunford Jackson. She hopes to be part of the community, truly working to acknowledge and advance the worth and uniqueness of each individual. She sees that community at UUFNN. When asked what brought her here, she replied, justice. Mo is happily retired and loves spending time with her many friends. She's already contributing to UUFNN in ways that support our mission, and she appreciates all we do for peace, love, justice, and empathy. You want to go ahead and put your rocks, your stones? Oh, all right.
I have two rocks.
Yes, go ahead and just put one there. And welcome all our new members.
It is at this time I invite all our members and friends of UUFNN to please rise in body and spirit, to hold your stone or sparkling gem in your hand. If you are online, please place your hand over your heart to symbolize your connection to this community. These tokens are symbols of the commitment you have each made to this community, either by making the choice to become a member with all the responsibilities and joys of that commitment, or as a newcomer, taking the risk of visiting a community for the first time, or a friend, bringing your presence to this community and making a lasting and positive impact on this congregation. Do you agree to support these new members in feeling welcomed in all their authenticity, in making space for their wisdom and love, and in opening our hearts to the subtle transformations that come from being in the presence of new people? If you agree, say, we do. We do. And all of us, do we commit to continuing to learn to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy, with compassion, courage, and covenant? If you agree, please say, we do. I invite all friends and members to come forward and place your token in the waters, marking the importance of each of the members and friends of this congregation over the years, and by recommitting to the mission of this community in the years to come. And I'll begin by placing a stone on behalf of all of you online with us this morning who are an integral part of this community. You may now come forward and add your stones. We add to our river a stone for Ginny Kersey and all others in our community who have passed, but whose presence makes up the headwaters and is still felt long after their passing. We celebrate this special moment and recommit to one another. And we invite you after our service to stay. We have cookies in the gathering room. Please take a moment to introduce yourself to someone new. And of course, please do so without overwhelming them. Thank you.
Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing 1020 in the Teal hymnal. Oh yeah, yeah.
As a free church, we have the honor and the full responsibility for sustaining ourselves financially. And on Sundays during the offertory, we also have the honor of sharing half our plate collection with a local nonprofit. This month's Share the Plate is Arts for All Nevada. Among their many arts programs, they serve about 2,000 handicapped and special needs adults per year with free art classes and other activities. They also have taught in Title I, which are the low-income elementary schools, for many years. Effective this fall, however, Trump eliminated all the funding for working in these schools, leaving them with a near $40,000 shortfall. We can help them, and they are grateful for our contribution in their ongoing work. Instructions for how to make your offering are on the screen. Thank you for your generosity. Will the ushers please come forward? Would you please join Nancy and me in blessing these offerings to the work of our fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. We dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. Well, I went away for a week and I come back and I see that our announcements have been rebranded as invitations. So here we are with your invitations for this week. The Reno Posse, which organizes our meal support for hungry neighbors, is in urgent need of bakers and cooks. All the ingredients are provided. If members of the posse would raise their hands, I know you see the people who can answer your questions. They'll be happy to help you know where to get the ingredients and how you can do this. Tickets to see the renowned author Rebecca Solnit, who speaks truth in the times we are living in. She will be speaking and signing books right here at UUFNN, March 13th at 6 p.m. The books are available online at radicalcat.com, and I looked that up, so you put in one word, radicalcat, then the dot, and com, if you want to look for the book. We hope to see many of you here. If you are new to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, you are welcome to join us on our February 22nd Muffins for Newcomers, which will be at 9:45 right out there in the gathering room. You can get to know more about us and have some coffee and muffins. And after the service today, join us for an informal communications training in the Star King room, which if you go through to the next building and keep going, the last room is Star King. After Kristen returned from Minneapolis and shared some of the organizing tools folks there are using, many of you expressed an interest in learning more about Signal and some of the other tools for keeping communications more private. So join us to hear more of that today in the Star King room. And now, as you are willing or able, stand in body or spirit, singing together a hymn which is in the new hymnal, which at the moment is virtual. So you will see the words up on the screen there. The hymn is "We Will Carry Each Other."
Yeah, what a perfect example of covenant. We will carry each other along the way, even if the words aren't on the screen and we have to hum and sway awkwardly. There will be other people to lift us up and help carry us along. Friends, as we extinguish our chalice today, will you connect to each other in ways that feel comfortable? As we extinguish this light, may we hold with us this week a faith that this ever expanding covenantal community represents an ever expanding witness of compassionate people who will transform this world with love. Go with courage, with confidence, and with joy. May it be so.
Go rehearsal tomorrow.
There is a breakout room if you want to join it. Well, doesn't Penny, if you want to join the breakout room, and Christopher, feel free to join it. There. I don't know if you can hear me, Christopher. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So I'm going to end it. Aha.